Hello and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. Today we're working with a denim sundress. We have a very interesting model here. Last time we made a mock-up of the top part. Today we'll make some corrections, cut this top part from denim, and if we have time left, then we'll also cut the skirt. If not, then we'll cut the skirt next time. We'll see how it goes. Let's start. We made the fitting. And we have a few corrections. First, I lowered the line here a bit lower. Here, you see. I took a bit of this princess line part here, the side part to be exact, because it stood out a bit here. And on the center front, so that it looks more like a sketch, you see. We're taking a strap and add 1 centimeter at the contour of the triangle inset here. And thus, you see, our triangle inset will be a bit smaller from both sides, a bit neater, so we can make the middle quite lower. Another thing we need to do first, before cutting, is to fold this together and check the distance we have here. We have 42 centimeters, so my waistline is from 80 to 82 centimeters. Yes, approximately 82. I lost some weight. Here with a small extra, 42 when pulling a bit. It's even 41 here. Well, 42 will be enough. Denim shouldn't hang, especially this model, especially the top part. It shouldn't be too loose. These 2 centimeters are enough for freedom. Also, we won't cut here on the back too tightly. And finally, we'll deal with these ends during the final fitting. One more change. Not change exactly, but another thing we'll add here. We'll add here a side zipper. But in order for us not to have too much of a difference between the narrow back, since we pulled the mock-up and took the extra from the back, then we'll move this side seam at least for a centimeter to the bust side. Just a centimeter. We can even try 1.5 centimeters. So that at least if we move it, look, for now I'm just making a 1.5 mark, for example, a working mark. Then we'll have this back as a half, at least it is 19 to 20, and the front is 22. At least the difference is not too big like I have now. Now what I have is that 24 is half of the front, and a very small back, 17. This should be evened out a bit. Again, let me explain what is the difference and why I changed the sketch a bit. Because here, look closely at my bust and the sketch. Here we have a bust start. Here and here further there is this thick strap, a bit longer than the bust. This looks good for a small bust. But I decided that if I make it so for myself, then here to the center front there will be such a thick strap. Yes, it will be curvy. Then there's the bust and the dart. Specifically for me, I know that this option will not suit me. You can draw any lines regarding your own body. Look here, I don't see much of a beauty here. So let us start from here. We'll get a bit closer to the sketch by increasing the inner part at 1 centimeter. Let's start working so that we don't talk too much. The first thing I do is snip off the straps. Now we'll introduce all the changes. Okay. Let's see further. Here is what we have so far. I take a pen. Look, here I have a chalk mark. This is so that the sundress doesn't blend in, that it's more open. Smooth line, this one, which I'll cut now. It will move here, and here I pinned only this part where the side is, during the fitting. I'll draw a smaller dart here, of course, removing all the pins. Here I've already said that we're fading away, but we're not cutting the ends yet. We know that the belt is approximately 82 centimeters, but this here will fit during the proper fitting. Okay, here is what we have so far. Now we're going to work with the half. Since this is a mock-up, we don't need to do anything twice. Here I'll draw so that we can check right and left. Here, look, here is a bit less. Of course I'll draw a more smooth line here, because it's denim. Because anyway, at the end it'll all lay a bit differently. And if I need to add corrections somewhere, we'll still be able to do so on denim. Here's the side seam. I'm copying. I'll work on this side. That's why now I'm cutting. Pinning along the seam so that it matches this central part. And I cut our mock-up exactly in half. I put aside one half. I won't need it anymore. Now we're cutting. Naturally, when I cut, I'll place it to the fold, and in any case, I'll have a perfect line here. I'll place it and even it out. We take one lower half. Here we'll have 42 in finished result, as you remember. Here will fade away. Well, let's leave a small extra. We need to have at least 42. I mean, we can make a more smooth transfer for another centimeter right here. Here, as you remember, we increased the strap by 1 centimeter. Now I'm marking this part center front. You see, we need to mark it. And 1 centimeter, I'll take the ruler. I prefer to work with it. So the middle part is 1 centimeter less already. You see how wonderful it is. And here it fades away. Here. This is the center front and fold. Along the center front. We cut like this and pin this middle to the fold of the fabric. So we don't lose anything. This is without seams. Actually, you can take a couple of centimeters off the height, so that it's at least like this. We don't need such a high middle part. We have some sort of a more elegant option. Now I'm snipping off the next part. We'll work stage by stage. Actually, you don't have to snip off. Just cut and add for the seams. This will go here. For now, I'll leave this as it is. Now we're going to pin all this and cut it together. This will be the bottom. The grain line will be approximately like this, a bit diagonal. We'll even this all out. Next, I cut here like this. If we want to take off millimeters, we can always do so during the denim fitting. We transferred the side seam at 1.5 centimeters to the front side. And we draw a nice line here. I'll cut it now. One moment. You can even do it like this. Let it be. Now you see this. This is our new seam already. And now I'll pin all these details and cut the upper part of the denim, and we'll try it on. I'll cut the straps 1 centimeter wider, since we expanded the side part, such a curvy part, and so that it smoothly goes into wide straps as well. I'm going to pin the details carefully, draw all the allowances for the seams, and will let you know what to pay attention to, and we'll cut the top part of the sundress. Look closely at what I'm doing. Look, I've drawn it. These are the 2 straps folded in 2, plus the seam. Since the strap is 7 centimeters now, in the finished result, I have 16 centimeters by 17 centimeters here. This is more than enough. This is a small triangle inset. This is a wide next part, the side part of the front and the back. We transferred the seam. We need to calculate the skirt now. This is a rather meticulous process. We need to look closely. This is the belt. The belt part is also with seams. It's also 7 centimeters, the same width at the straps. We take a ruler and see that my waist is approximately 82 centimeters in the waistline. We need to check. We take the ruler and check the front. It is approximately 16. I measured the first part, put my finger on 16 and measured the second part. It's 23 centimeters. Check it out. The front piece. This section here is 23 centimeters. That's the front. This is what I'll take for calculations. This is the back. Let's see how many for the back. Also, you know what you can do? Half is 42, minus 23. I'll take a calculator. 42 is half circumference in the hips section with a bit of freedom. Minus 23, the back is 19 centimeters. We cannot measure here clearly because we took an end with extra, if we suddenly need to move it in one or the other side. That's why we navigate by the fact that the back is narrower, but not critically. Let's look at the sketch. We practically have 6 identical parts in upper part of the skirt and 6 other identical parts in the lower part of the skirt. This will be the seams with stitching. Such nice denim seams. What should we pay attention to? In order not to divide and get confused, we will not count garters for the front and the back separately. We'll make identical garters. On the back, we'll have a bit more gathering. It won't matter much, you'll see it. We have 23 centimeters on the front. 23 divided by 3 is equal to 7.6 centimeters. The section is exactly on the waistline between the garters. So we divide by 3, 7.6, and the back is 19 divided by 3, 6.3. So the difference is 1.2 centimeters. It'll gather for this 1.2 centimeters and the gathering will be a bit denser, but we'll take in the section between the belts only. The length. Next is the length. I decided to make the total length of 73. I'll mark it like this. The skirt is 73, let it be 72 centimeters. We'll take 22 of them on hips, a bit lower than the hips. Usually this line is at the hip level or a bit lower. Maybe someone will want to make it higher, but then it will look more like an identical yoke. Then the second height of the garment is 50 centimeters. Now these 6 garments, I call them so. We need to determine the section of each of these. We already decided they will be identical, so we continue working with the front. The hip circumference is approximately 102. I'll take about 106 and we'll try to divide by 6. 106 divided by 6 is 17.6 centimeters. I can take each garment at the bottom at 18 centimeters, you see. Thus, the first garment will be 22 centimeters high. Its width will be 18 centimeters, and we'll need 6 details like this. The upper part will be gathered later along the waistline, and the next garment will be sewn to the lower part. And now we need to calculate the next garment. We had 106 centimeters in the hip area. In order to make sure that the gathering is not too high, we'll make it literally 1.5 times. Calculating 106 multiplied by 1.5 is equal to 160 centimeters. This is the width along the hem of our garment. And 160 divided by 6 is 26.5 centimeters. Well, we'll see on fabric. It can be 25 centimeters as well. I'll take 25 centimeters of width for our details. The height is 50 centimeters. And this, I'll write down 25 to 26.5. This is not important here. So we need 6 details, 22 by 18. These are all these details you see. The next long details are approximately 26 centimeters wide, and the height is 50 centimeters. You can make it bigger. When we cut this pattern and place it on the fabric, we'll look at what we'll have. I'm going to cut these details behind the camera and we'll place them on fabric. Now let's see carefully. We drew one large garment considering the seams. I have 27 across and 53 height, and the small one as well. I have 20 with seams across and 24 height, and we have everything fits perfectly here. Of course, if we make the belt loops and mini belts thin, I'll have to get 20 centimeters more. But the fact that we fit this sundress into 1.5 meters is just great. Look at the complexity of this sundress. I showed the details once more. We have the belt, we have 2 straps. I drew one detail here. And what do we have? I traced it. It fits here. It fits here up to our straps. Here is the third one. These are 6 details now, and 3 small details. I'm cutting all this now. We'll place the pattern and see what we have. I placed all the details of the cutting. We fit into 1.5 meters exactly. Of course, if we make the belt and the belt loops, maybe something else will be used for finishing. We could have taken at least 1 meter 70 centimeters, but in the end I'll announce if we decide to take more fabric. And now quickly going through cutting. In our next video, we'll assemble the sundress and do a proper fitting. These are 2 straps. This detail is the small triangle in the center. Next, there is the princess line, the side from the front, and the back. I left 2 parts of the belt with extra, the front one and the back one. There will be a zipper on the side. These are first princess lines, the upper layer. The whole fabric is 2-fold, so these 6 rectangles and 6 big long rectangles. This is the lower part. I think we did some good work today. In the next video, we'll be assembling and fitting. And now I think it's high time to look through your fabrics and look for denim. Maybe you'll buy a new one. Get everything ready quickly so that by next video you can sew with us. It's time to say goodbye. This has been the Global Fashion Workshop channel. All the best from Olga Paukšte and the rest of our team. Subscribe to our channel, like and comment. See you soon. Bye.